And hello, good timers. Welcome to another cooking vlog here with Andy today. Someone was actually at work, so we're not going to see her today, but you will see me and probably a little bit of Snowden as well. But today we're going to be doing another viewer request. That's right. I've been posting some pictures of my creations, my pizza creations specifically on Facebook lately, and I had a viewer ask if I could show them how to properly stretch and cook a pizza. So that's what we're going to do today. Join me in the kitchen. It's going to be some pizza like you've never seen.
There's no need to complicate things. Let's stick to the basics. We both know what we want. Let's just keep it simple. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. We dance on the same wavelength. This feels like a new beginning. We both know what we want. Let's just keep it simple. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. So won't you let me trip with you? Lead and I'll follow. Leave us till tomorrow. So won't you let me trip with you? Lead and I'll follow. Leave us till tomorrow. So won't you let me?
As you see, guys, I got my own personal supervisor here, keeping an eye on things here in the kitchen today. And yeah, we've shown you the ingredients here to the pizzas. First thing we're going to do here is show you how to pound out and stretch the dough, guys. That's the main and key thing that you can do with your pizzas, is stretching dough correctly. So we're going to show you that. And let's get... Alright guys, before we get stretching, let's talk a little bit about your dough. Now obviously you can find on YouTube or on Google all kinds of recipes to make your own pizza dough. And I highly encourage you to do that if you like to do that. Myself, I hate baking. Alright, it's a well-known fact that I can't, well I can, but I just choose not to bake pretty much anything because I just don't like to measure stuff. So I buy store-bought, ready-to-go dough. Alright, all you gotta do is stretch it out. So this is fresh dough, obviously. This one here has been proofing pretty much all day in the refrigerator. I took it out about an hour ago, so it has time to come up to room temperature. That'll make your dough a lot easier to stretch here, guys. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut this open. And by the way, this is a Shipyard beer dough. Shipyard is a beer here in Maine that is very popular. And I'm using beer dough today because the kind of pizza we're going to be making is actually pulled pork barbecue pizza. And who doesn't love beer with their barbecue, right? So that's what we got. So cut your package open here. Then what we're going to do is we're going to put it right onto our countertop. Don't worry if it sticks a little bit. Before we put it on the countertop, I actually want to throw some flour down. Just a little bit here, guys, to stop it from sticking to the actual counter. Alright, so just like that. Now we'll get you a little close up here so you can see what I'm going to do with this dough. When you stretch your dough, you always want to put a little bit of flour on your hands, so that way the dough doesn't stick to your hands. The other thing you want to do is keep this dough ball in a circle the entire time you're working with it. Unless you like your pizza square, and then I suppose you can do what you want. But I like my pizza circle, just like the classic way, so we're going to try to keep this in a circle as much as possible. So we got a little bit of flour on the bottom, and now we're going to put a little bit of flour on the top, just to help us keep our hands from sticking to it. And what you're going to do is you want to use your fingertips, guys, to pat this down. That's going to get the air bubbles out of it, and it's going to start forming that circle that you want to see. So you want to use a circle of your motion when you're doing this. So let's go ahead and get started. So just with the fingertips, guys, we're just going to go around in circles, kind of working our way out from the middle to the edge, keeping that circle formed the entire time. And as long as you've proofed your dough long enough at room temperature, guys, this should come pretty easily to you. If you haven't, then you might have a few issues, but this is actually about a 12-ounce pizza dough we're working with, guys, so we're going to try to get it to at least a probably 12 to 14-inch size, which will fit right on my pizza peel that I have here. Those pizza peels are pretty good stuff, guys. This is a wooden one. You can also buy in metal. You can get them right at any cooking store. I'm sure you can get them on Amazon as well. And yeah, if you don't have these, you can also put your pizza on the back side of the sheet pan. That's going to make it easier to slide off when you go ahead to put it in the oven. Now, I want to leave it just about this size here, probably about 8 inches right now. If you want yourself a really thick pizza, you could just go ahead and leave it like that. But I want myself kind of a medium rise, we'll say. So kind of somewhere between a Maine fresh dough and a New York style thin crust is what I want. So once you got it to look like this, guys, just go ahead and lift it up. And I'm going to place it on the back side of my knuckles. So I'm going to curl my hands like this. And that's when we're going to stretch the middle. So as you can see, both hands there, you see my knuckles right through that, are right in the middle. And we're just going to stretch in a circular motion once again. So as you can see, my hands are going in a circle. And you want to be somewhat quick about this, guys. You don't want to overstretch it. Trying to get a nice even stretch all the way around. As you can see, once I've got that middle stretched out, I'm reaching my hands here to stretch out the edges as well. Then, once you've got it to just about the size you want, and that looks pretty good right there, just kind of put it on your wrist for a second. Spread your flour back around here. And then we're going to go ahead and just lay it back down. See if it's the size we want. Now, if it's not, you just go ahead and stretch it a little bit out with your fingers. What you want to do is put your hand right in the middle, guys. So if you don't, you're going to pull on this side, and this side's going to shrink on you. So, hands in the middle, and stretch out that very edge to the size you want it. You can go ahead and twirl it like that, and get it around there. This helps you feel a little bit too, guys, so you can see which parts are thicker and which parts are thinner. And that way you can correct it if you need to. You don't want to work your dough too much, guys, all right? Kind of like biscuit dough, it's going to get tougher and rubbrier the more you work with it. So just a little bit of pushing and pulling here, and you should have just about the size you want. That looks pretty darn good right there, I think. So we're going to leave it like that. Lift it right back up, actually. What we're going to do here first. Hopefully the camera can see this. So we're going to add some cornmeal to this paddle right here. If you don't add cornmeal to the paddle, guys, as soon as you put your dough on here, it's going to stick right to this thing. So we're just going to add just a light amount of cornmeal, probably a teaspoon or so. Spread it all the way around here on your pizza peel. Same process will work for a metal peel, guys, or the backside of the sheet pan, like I said before. Alright, so that's pretty good there. So we're just going to go ahead and gently lift this up. I'm going to give it one more toss here just to get the excess flour right off the bottom of it. Then we're going to lay it right on our pizza stone. Or pizza peel, I should say. As you can see, it's a little large right now, but you can shrink that back up to the size you want. If you want it that big, you can go ahead and do that, but it's going to be harder to get it off this peel later. Alright. So many of you are thinking right now that there's no holes or anything in this dough, so it's going to rise a lot, and it sure is. But what we're going to do is we're going to use a fork here, and we're going to put little holes into it so it doesn't rise too much. And this is a little time consuming here, guys, but start with the outer edge and go all the way around with your fork. And it's still going to rise on you quite a bit, even doing this. If you have a dough docker, go ahead and use that. They also sell those on Amazon, I'm sure. But if not, a fork will work just fine. As well, a knife will work fine as well. You just don't want to put too many knife spots in it because you will tear your dough. Alright. So there's that, guys. So as you can see, that's a real nice looking circle pizza we got there. So what I'm going to do, and this is a little insider secret, if you want your doughs to come out just like they do at the restaurants, you want to par bake this, all right? I know it sounds a little bit crazy, but it's going to give you that nice crisp bottom to it that you're looking for, like I said, from your favorite restaurant. I've got my oven set as high as it'll go, and that's about 550 degrees. If your oven goes higher, set it higher. I've got a pizza stone in the oven, and I'm going to toss this right onto, and we're going to cook it for probably 3 to 4 minutes just to get the process started of it cooking, and then we're going to top it with our toppings, and then we're going to put it back in the oven for probably another 8 minutes to get it nice and brown and crispy. So, all right, let's show you that. Right onto the pizza pan, and I've got the pizza stone, I should say. I've got the pizza stone right on the middle rack here, so it cooks nice and even from the top and the bottom. And just like that, we're going to lay it on there, close it up. Set the timer for about 3 minutes. Let this pre-cook a little bit, and then we're going to top it up. So while that pizza's cooking, guys, I am just going to mix up a little bit of olive oil and garlic and herb Mrs. Dash to brush on the pizza crust itself. That's going to help it brown up a little bit. probably just about a teaspoon of the Mrs. Dash here. We're just going to put it right on the outer crust, so that way when you eat your crust, you actually get a little bit of flavor there besides just the bread. It's going to be almost like a garlic bread crust. So that should go real nice. So we're going to do about a teaspoon of the Mrs. Dash, probably a tablespoon of the olive oil, maybe two. We'll do 2 tablespoons of the olive oil. Just give that a quick stir, guys. And then we will brush it on the dough when it comes out. Okay, guys, just took the dough out of the oven, and as you can see, it did proof up a little bit here. So what you're going to do at this point, I forgot to turn my timer off. So at this point, what you're going to do is get that air back out. So just with your hands, and be careful, these are going to be a little hot. Just give it a press down like that. Get all those air bubbles out as much as you can. And yeah, so we're going to let that cool for just a second, and then it's going to be ready to top. Alright, so we're going to start by brushing the crust here with that olive oil and garlic mixture that we just made. And we're going to go all the way around it with that. It's going to give it some nice flavor. It's going to make it brown up real nice as well, guys. So that's really what we're looking for, is the brownness. And if you got a little bit extra, go ahead and just slop it on there. A little bit of added flavor is not a big deal. It's actually pretty darn good. Alright, so we've got that on there. The next thing we're going to do is our barbecue sauce. And like I said, we're not going to go too heavy on this, guys. It's not like pizza sauce. It's going to be very sweet, so we want just a little bit of a glaze on there. And we'll go ahead and spread that out, see what we think here, see if it's enough, or see if we might need a little more, but I think this is going to be pretty darn close. Once it melts, so there is that. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put a little bit of cheese. I'm only going to do half of this cheese. It's about 2 cups on the bottom, and then I'm going to put my pork and my onions on, and then I'm going to do a little bit more cheese on top of that. So I don't want to burn that pork. It's already cooked, and having a little bit of cheese on top of the pork will prevent that from burning. So, but you want a little bit of cheese on the bottom because that'll prevent it from sliding around too much. And I've got probably about 1 cup's worth of pulled pork here, guys. I got more in the freezer, so I probably could have put a little bit more on there if I wanted to, but I think this is going to be just about right. What you're looking for when you top your pizzas, guys, is to have a little bit of everything in every single bite. So when you take a bite of this pizza, you want to have a little bit of onion. You want to have a little bit of pork. Obviously, you're going to have the cheese and a little bit of the sauce. So you want to make sure you get a nice coverage on your pizzas. If you're doing a pepperoni pizza, overlap your pepperoni because it's going to shrink up quite a bit. Pulled pork here like this, it's already cooked, isn't going to shrink at all. So we don't have to take that into consideration. So just make sure we get this all covered, and that 1 cup of pulled pork looks like it's going to be just about perfect, guys. Some variations of this, if you want, you could always use chicken. You could also top it with jalapenos. I know a lot of people do like jalapenos on their pizzas. You can do raw onions if you like. If you guys know me at all, though, I hate raw onions. So I've decided to go ahead and do pickled. Pickled onions are almost like a combination of raw and cooked. So it's got kind of a consistency of a cooked sautéed onion, but it's got that crispiness and the onion flavor still as if it was a raw onion, but a little bit sweeter. So that's why I don't mind the pickled onions. So we're just going to drizzle those all over here. That's probably, I don't know, that's probably about a half of a medium-sized onion there, as if you want to know the amounts on that. But basically just go to your taste. Once again, if you want to do raw onion, that's perfectly fine. I'm not going to eat it, so what do I care, right? All right, let's go ahead and put the rest of this cheese on here. Timer just went off. Our pizza should be ready here. Let's go ahead and get it out of the oven, check it out. Oh yeah. And there you go, guys. You can see that. nice brown. If you don't like it to be too well done, then go ahead and take it out a little bit earlier. This actually went for about 10 minutes, not 8. I did set it for a few more minutes. But yeah, we gotta let this cool for just a couple minutes before we cut into it and give it a try. But here we go. Okay, guys, if you're by yourself, you can just go ahead and eat this whole entire pie just like this. But I'm supposed to share this supposedly with Simone later on when she finally comes home. So I guess I'm gonna go ahead and cut it. You can cut it into 6, 4s, 8s. You can probably even get 10 cuts out of this if you really want to, but we're just gonna go 8 today. So once down the middle, you can hear that crunch, guys. Then down the middle on this side. One more cut over here. And then one more cut down on that side. So there you go. Nice 8 almost equal pieces for you. Let's check out, see what that crust looks like underneath. I can tell you it's still pretty darn hot. And there you go, guys. Check out that crust. Oh yeah. Only thing left to do is give this sucker a try. Okay, guys, made myself up a plate. As you can see, we got the potato chips there, and then our slices of pizza. So let's go ahead and give this a try. Hopefully it's cooled down enough. We'll find out in a second. Oh, it's hot. Oh, really hot. Huh. Alright, so once you get done burning yourself, guys, you can definitely taste that porky, smoky fattiness of that whole thing, along with that nice sharp Mexican cheese we got on there, Mexican cheese blend. Just the right amount of tang and vinegar from those onions. And yeah, nice sweet sauce to go with it as well. As you can see, crust nice and crispy. It's still got a few air pockets in there as well, so if you like the air pockets, it's got that. And yeah, a delicious way to use up some leftovers. Perfectly stretched pizza, nicely cooked. 2 thumbs up for myself. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. So until next time, have a good time. I'm going to go finish this pizza. Hot.
Let's have a drink, just relax, all your problems will fade. If you're ready for a good time, count on me. There's a party